Welcome, everyone, to the Brookmont Church in Bethesda, Maryland, for a concert for democracy. I'm Jefferson Glassy, Chief Spiritual Dude of the Planetary Gig Society, whose mission is creating unity through music, or as I like to say, making connections through music with the intention of bringing peace. And we're doing this concert for democracy to put out some good intentions, some good packets of energy and vibration out there, because as Joseph Wooten says, democracy needs music and music needs democracy.
You're here.
And I am delighted to be able to introduce my friend Lionel the King Cole.
Hello.
Who will be helping out and will be playing. Camilo Montoya is our executive producer, editor. He is going to be coming out for a short set of poetry, spoken word in a little bit, and Lionel is going to wrap us up with some songs on the organ. The idea for Concerts for Democracy just came because back in October of, maybe the summer of 2020, a few of us were talking about, maybe we should do some concerts for democracy. Let's sing, let's do something because, we need it. And so since then, Planetary Gig Society has done 11 Concerts for Democracy, and this is our 12th.
Woo-hoo.
And the idea is just talk a little bit about some songs and talk about why the songs are important, what meaning they have. It's pretty important to have that conversation around music. When musicians talk, it can be pretty powerful.
It's true, especially on the same wavelength, trying to support each other in our bigger ideas of really changing the waveforms out there in the universe,
Yeah. So maybe we'll get into some deep stuff here.
I hope so.
You never can tell.
Well,
so hopefully.
It's just a porch, isn't it?
So this first song that I'm going to do is called Freight Train. It's my favorite song. Been playing it a long time. It was written by Elizabeth Cotton. She was a left-handed guitar player, but she wrote the song when she was about 11 or 13. She worked at Pete Seeger's house.
Wow, I didn't know that.
And they found out that she played the guitar, and she ended up having quite a good career. The song Freight Train, I like some of these lyrics. It's a very kind of nice and easy song. But the thing about it really is, it talks about some things that go to what's really been happening in our country. So, for example, the people in the South who had been enslaved then came. They after the Civil War, Jim Crow was going on. They wanted to live their lives just
like normal humans.
Like normal humans. But it was pretty brutal in those days. I mean, one of the things that came out of the pandemic for me was being able to read Isabel Wilkerson's books, The Warmth of Other Suns and Caste, which talked about the plight of these people and how really awful it was. And just to throw one thing out there, from 1890 to 1930 something, one of these folks was lynched or burned alive on an average of every 4 days. And if you wanted to leave, the people didn't want you to leave. The man didn't want you to leave.
No, they set up picnics actually for these lynchings.
Yeah.
There's all these incredible pictures throughout history now that are coming to light of folks bringing a box lunch.
Postcards.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was really, unbelievably brutal, and I think we kind of forget that that's where we are. But that is part of the issue that we have, is getting over that. So this song, Freight Train, if you think about the lyrics as we go through it, hopefully it will mean something to you. But it has taken on new meaning for me because there are women now in some states who might not
they
be
have
able
to leave,
or they might want to leave.
Yeah.
But somebody's not wanting them to leave. And so we really have some...
Where oppression is oppression, really, is what we're talking about. It doesn't
Yeah.
matter who it's happening to. Oppression doesn't care. It's like light. It'll shine on whatever it's on. So the more we can bring to light these things that cause oppression, the more change we can bring about.
Yeah. So let's try this here.
Right on. Oh, wait. You got to tell them about the actual the song, the thing that kills me about this song is that, and Jefferson, he's probably hiding it for the end, but I just think it's awesome. There's actually a guy who mailed himself and shipped himself out of slavery. You tell him, it's
well,
amazing.
yeah, you couldn't get out of the South. I mean, you know, they would come and not kill you. They would not let you get out of the South. They would burn your house down. One guy, Henry Boxcar James. Does anybody know the last name? Anyway, he put himself in a big crate and got on the train, and sent himself to Philadelphia to escape to freedom in a boxcar.
Yeah, I think that's pretty powerful.
It's pretty powerful. Freight train, going so fast. Freight train, going so fast. Oh, please don't tell them what train I'm on, so they won't know where I've gone. Freight train, coming round the bend. Freight train, going back again. Oh, one of these days, turn that train around, take me back to my hometown. There's one more place I'd love to be. One more place I'd love to see. Watching the Blue Ridge Mountains climb as I ride old number 9.
I don't know. Democracy can mean a lot. I mean, it's the definition and all that, but like it means a lot. This idea of making thought together, making governing laws, whether they be to govern self or countries,
to be able
amongst
to
ourselves.
get on the same page with everybody in a process that everybody is allowed to say what they want to say. Everybody has their role, their participation. Everybody's part of it. It's important because if somebody is just in charge,
Well,
it's not
fascism
so
might
good.
rise,
Fascism and oh my God, Russia and all this stuff right now. So
or even egoism can get in the way of, the popularity contest can get in the way of the idea.
yeah. So, but we both agree. I know we do. The power of intention and the vibration, the healing sounds of music when put toward a goal, toward something that brings us all up.
Yeah, man.
It's pretty powerful.
It's funny, I study this martial art, and everything's about intention, and you use the word intention a lot, when we deal with the music, and it's that intention, it kind of transcends time, it transcends, you know, differences. I think intention is like the super secret spark of the universe, you know.
And you got enough people out there with their butterflies' wings, you know, fluttering up a little bit of intention about, can we just really enjoy
right
this life on this planet, because it's pretty good, it's good,
Man.
you know, it's nice.
Even in its hardships, man, there's, you know, there's actual joy to be found. You know, it's sometimes it's dark and gallows, you know, but it still can bring joy. You know, the gallows humor is humor too. You know, so, and intentionally trying to change what that is, like, you know, Fellini's Life is Beautiful or something like that. You know, this idea that in the midst of it can be beauty. You know,
It's all here to see. So I think, you know, these songs tonight, really fun, good. You know, putting it out there. It's important to do.
yeah, man, it's purpose.
Democracy needs music. Music needs democracy. I'm going to quote Joseph Wooten for as long as I can.
And you know, the part of the thing about these concerts for democracy is they don't have to be just protest songs or, you know, We Shall Overcome, or, you know, can be sort of any song. And this song is a concert for democracy song because I was sitting in a bus on a retreat somewhere, and I left the seat open, and I was wondering who was going to come sit down and what was going to happen from that. I don't know why.
Because you like people.
Yeah. A woman came and sat down next to me, and we started talking, and her husband was a musician, and we had talked about that before. And then she said, you know, I do sacred dance. I'm like, that's really cool, sacred dance. And she said, yeah, we dance because we think dance solves problems. And I thought,
Tell them again.
dance solves problems. So what is that? I had never heard of that before. I mean, I've been doing a lot of conversations about music and other things. I never even heard anybody say music solves problems, but maybe it does.
I
It
think
must.
You just said it. Well, we know it does. Vibrational change,
Yeah.
harmonic displacement.
So that's why Mr. Bojangles is a concert for democracy song. Makes sense, right?
Well, I love it, and also that, you know, it's written by like an old school white rock band, and the one that actually got you is that, you know, Sammy Davis Jr.
Sammy Davis Jr. version of it, man.
Yeah.
Anyway, here we
Open
go.
hearts, open minds.
I knew a man, Bojangles, and he danced for you in worn-out shoes, silver hair, a ragged shirt, baggy pants. He did the old soft shoe. He could jump so high, jump so high. Then he lightly touched down. I met him in a cell, New Orleans I was. Well, I was down and out. He looked to me to be the very eyes of age. As he spoke right out, he talked of life, laughed, slapped his leg and stepped. He said his name was Bojangles, and he danced a lick across the cell. He grabbed his pants, took a better stance, then he jumped so high. And that's when he clicked his heels He let go a laugh, let go a laugh, shook back his clothes all around. That was Mr. Bojangles, Mr. Bojangles, Mr. Bojangles. He danced for those at minstrel shows and county fairs throughout the South. Spoke with tears of 15 years I was dogging him. They traveled about, but the dog up and died, dog up and died. After 20 years, he still grieves. Said I dance now at every chance in honky-tonks for drinks and tips, but most of the time I spend behind these county bars. You see, son, I drinks a bit. He shook his head as he shook his head. I heard someone say, please, please. Mr. Bojangles, Mr. Bojangles, Mr. Bojangles. Come back and dance, please, Bojangles. Come back and dance. We need to dance to solve our problems. Please, Bojangles. Thank you. I was just reading a book called When the Drummers Were Women, which basically is putting the hypothesis that drummers, the first drummers, I mean, the women were they started it all.
I'd pay
The
attention.
horticulturist, the creative force.
Yep.
So, next song, this is a song that I wrote, and it's about the Iroquois Confederacy. So, I don't know if you've heard of the Great Law of Peace, the Haudenosaunee tribe. This is what happened. In 1142, the tribes, the Seneca, Mohawk, Onondaga, Oneida, and Cayuga were fighting.
Iroquois Nation, yeah.
It was that they were fighting all the time. It was, an eye for an eye. You kill one person, if somebody kills your person, you got to kill them. And the great peacemaker and Hiawatha met up with Jiganasa, the sort of the local clan mother, and went to all these tribes and got them to adopt the Great Law of Peace. And it was it's written down. It's been followed for a long, long time. It's basically consensus-based governance. The ideas that they had of the councils, different sort of checks and balances, Ben Franklin became very interested in. The founding fathers did. So part of what we have in our government is based on what the Iroquois Confederacy did. So I think they're great. Plus they were a matrilineal society. basically matriarchal. They lived in long houses.
I love the idea of the braid, you know, the longhouse at night. They would braid all their hair together, and so you could feel each other move in the night, you know, ripples along the braid, you know. I think music can cause the braid to happen between people, and hopefully those ripples will make us respond to each other in the right kind of way.
So this part does have two different audience participation parts.
Yay.
You ready?
Yellow.
So you'll hear it when it comes around. It goes, I am the great peace. I am great peace. I am great peace maker. Got that? You'll hear it when it comes around. At the end, there's a part which some people may call Indian war dancing, Indian war cries. But I tend to think of them as indigenous people's songs and shouts of exhilaration and love and reciprocity with nature and peace and the divine aspects of life.
I'm gonna howl though.
Okay, all right. So whatever you want to do, but it kind of goes like this. Let's see if I got it. Oh, 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 hey, oh, 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 oh. So that's going to happen. So we'll see how this goes. Agreed that the fighting would cease, so they adopted the great law of peace. We laid down our weapons and planted a great pine tree, and the people of the longhouses agreed to all be free, and the women of the clan would always have the choice to select their chief leaders and give everyone a voice. They called us the Iroquois Confederacy, but we call ourselves the Haudenosaunee. Oh, 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 great peace maker. So I hope that more people will try to learn about the Iroquois Confederacy and the Haudenosaunee, and also matriarchal societies too. And that's another rabbit hole we can go down later. I like to change words to songs around a little bit.
I do that too. I'm not sure if that's brain or
I
heart.
don't know what it is. But this song, this is kind of the power of a song. Franklin Roosevelt's campaign song was "Happy Days Are Here Again." And I have read that that song changed everybody's spirit. They were coming out of the Depression. Things were really, really not great. And everything just got lighter and better when he came into office. I mean, they passed the repeal of Prohibition before he even took office as the presidency. It was a real change. And this song is "Happy Days Are Here Again" is one of those. But when I first started singing it, my wonderful wife Julie said, "But happy days are not here again. We've got a pandemic. We have this administration. Things are tough. So it's now happy days gonna be here again."
It's true. It also mirrors what's happening here too, because cannabis is where alcohol was back in the day. So maybe we're almost closer than we think.
High times and happy days are
Amen.
gonna be here again.
Amen.
Here we go. Happy days gonna be here again. The skies above gonna be clear again. We will sing the song of cheer again. Happy days gonna be here again. All together, shout it now. We'll have health care for all. Who can doubt it now? We will yell to the world about democracy now. Happy days gonna be here again. Your cares and troubles will be gone. We won't let them shoot kids from now on. Happy days gonna be here again. The skies above gonna be clear again. We will sing the song of cheer again. Happy days gonna be here again. Now, all together, shout it now. We will love one another and our enemies now. We will finally be good stewards of the earth now. Happy days gonna be here again. Cares and troubles will be gone. We'll use renewable energy from now on. Happy days gonna be here again. The skies above gonna be clear again. We will sing the song of cheer again. Happy days gonna be here again. Happy days gonna be here again. Happy days gonna be here again. All right.
Give it up for Jefferson Glasser, you guys.
Thank you. And Lionel, the King Cole.
I was gonna ask, what's the story behind, how did you get involved with this place? Why are we here today?
We live about a block and a half that way, hardly. And ever since I've been in this space, it feels good. And I've always thought it has a real soul. It's great acoustics. It was used for music, but when you kind of open it up and bring the music in, it just feels really good. So we've done some great concerts here and just random open mic type things and whatever. And it's many churches are wonderful music venues.
Yeah, well, they're programmed to be, aren't they? Like, it's for spoken word and music to move the soul, right? So it seems good that we can move the soul from spirituality to right here on the ground at the same time. Like I love that.
Your title is Chief Spiritual Dude.
I am the chief spiritual dude of the Planetary Gig Society.
Do you see, like, what is the role of a congregation or of people in ministry, let's say, like in not ministry like the traditional way, but people who are devoted to spirituality in one way or another when it comes to the arts and like music spaces? What do you think? Like, what has been your experience in that?
Just trying to see the love and the oneness in the art and the music, and somehow throw that energy back out too. Your perspective about it.
Yeah, man. It's funny because, like, this takes me back being in a church. Like, when I was a kid, I played really early and did things really early, and the church didn't know what to do with me, so they put me on the Christian circuit, when I was maybe 8 years old, 9 years old. And we'd go to these, churches and these places, and you'd be on playing your stuff with, like, a guy dancing with rattlesnakes, you know what I mean? Like, just full-on dedication to what they're trying to get across. And I think it left an impression on me because it's like, whether there's 1 million people or 5 people,
right,
or it's for television or it's for whatever, the same level of true buy-in is necessary to move the soul, and I think we're lucky that we can use our talents, to move people. What they do with it is up to them, right? But, like, I think it's really cool. We can use our talents to move people in a conversation, in a congregation, in constitutional situations. We can make change just by bringing ourselves to the table fully formed.
Yeah.
I was talking with a woman not too long ago. I don't remember what it was, but she said, when the musicians start talking, people listen. And I think that's true. And maybe musicians, we don't really feel that way. Is anybody listening out? Hello? Is anybody listening out there? But they're not going to listen if you don't do it.
You gotta show up, man.
You got to show up.
The goddess of awesomeness says we gotta show up, right? We gotta show up. You showed up,
I'm glad I did. I wasn't going to.
I'm so glad.
Yeah. So, poetry, right? It's something that everybody's kind of used to. We've heard it before. We've seen it before. We all have poetry books in our house at some point, I would say. They end up in the house somehow. Poetry for me, it has been very different because I come from Nicaragua. That's where I was born and raised. That's where my family's from. And in Nicaragua, everybody's a poet. And that's kind of a struggle in a way. Like, you grow up reciting other people's poetry more so than you do writing your own. At least that was my experience. Because my parents would always have me do like talent shows, and like the school would have competitions, because poetry is like really valued in Nicaragua. And so then I came here at the age of 12, and I encountered DC slam poetry, which was like a totally new world, and a type of poetry that I sort of related to more, like, being a 12, 13-year-old, like now I'm like an angry person for the most part. So, like, to sort of express my angst that I had. And my angst was very different from like other teenagers because it was like coming of age in such a tough area for me, like in Silver Spring, going to school in Bethesda, making friends on both ends of things and trying to like find my way in the middle, kind of. Like being a recently arrived immigrant who was young enough to not be perceived as recently arrived, but also in many ways, like there's like a big division between first generation born Latinos in the US and me. So it was such a weird like teenage time to navigate, and poetry was sort of like my way to express things along the way, right? And perform, and that's how I found out I was really a performer. So this poem is called It'd Be a Lot Easier. Believe me when I tell you, It'd be a lot easier to just give in. It'd be a lot easier to say my name is Cam because you can't say Camilo. It'd be a lot easier to keep my hands in my pockets because you don't like the way I move them when I speak. It'd be a lot easier to cut my hair short so my curls don't show. And believe me when I tell you, there's days when I wish it were easier. Because in those days I get tired of it all. Tired of people seeing me as a threat for properly pronouncing my name. Tired of people saying, "Hola, mi amigo," when they greet me at their door. Tired because every time I start to feel like this place is my home, you find a way to remind me that it's not. Remind me that there's nothing for me to complain about because of all the wonderful opportunities this great nation has given to me. So thank you for the names you call me, the looks you give me, and the way you try to make me feel lesser than the man I am. Thank you. Because no matter what you may think about me, I will always see myself as a warrior. A warrior, because every day I have to fight to keep my culture alive. A warrior with a broken English but a soul that remains untouched. A warrior where every letter in my name holds history and every curl in my head holds victory, and there ain't a thing you or anybody can say to me that will make me back down. Because just like me, there's many, and everywhere we go, we're backed by an army of our ancestors running through our bloodstreams. We are warriors who came from warriors who lived to protect and died with honor. They tried to force a language down our throats, yet we still won't speak it the way they wanted us to. That's why our hands dance to the rhythm of our words and our hearts beat to the rhythm of our drums. We live in two nations, speak in two languages, feel in two cultures. So go ahead, call me what you want to call me, because at the end of the day, your words will never define me. Thank you all. The story behind that poem was a writing exercise I did for myself, where I was like, who am I now? I'm 21 right now. And I feel more like, like I got a hold of things as I navigate this world. Who am I now, and how do I want to speak to that young kid that I was at a time where I felt lost, where I felt confused, where I needed somebody to look up to, and I couldn't find that role model. So yeah, that one was called It'd Be a Lot Easier. Because I also get tired. Like, I don't like to feel like a victim. I don't like to feel like the world's against me. So it's like, there's days where I'm just sick of it all. Like, I don't want to turn the other cheek or yell. I don't want to fight back. I just want to be. This next piece is called, and now I'm going to have Lionel actually join me for this one. This one's called Ciudadanía. So, Ciudadanía means citizenship. It's sort of like this drug that, like, once you enter this country, like, you're kind of like seeking for it. It's like, it's there. You've seen people have it. Some people get it and they turn one way. Some people get it, they turn another way. It's like, who do you become after you go through this, like, experience, right? So, Ciudadanía. Where you at, mi amor? Don't you know I need you to feel at home? Can't you hear my prayers at night, asking her to show me a sign so I know what I have to do just to be with you? I know there's many men who want you like I do, but baby, they will never do the things that I'm willing to do just to be with you, mi amor, mi vida, mis sueños. I'll leave it all behind. Run across the desert, swim across the ocean, fly across the sky. Baby, please, just give me a chance. I'll build your cities, manage your buildings, clean your toilets, take out your trash. I'll drive your kids to school, help them with their homework, tuck them in at night. Baby, please, just give me a chance. I've only heard stories of the wonders your love can bring to a poor sinner's life. So here I've come, my love, ready to devote my life to you, you, and only you, mi vida. Es tuya, tuya y de nadie más. Can't you see I'm nothing? Nothing. Nothing more than a tool, nothing more than ground for people to step on. You don't complete me, baby, you make me. I need you. I need you. Ciudadanía. So yeah. And then I get my citizenship, and I was sort of thinking okay, who am I now? Am I somebody who takes this and runs to become everything I can become in just for me, or do I take this and use it for others' good? Do I become that bridge? Do I become somebody who is able to now stand up to somebody and be safe in my status?
When people are not seeking poetry, when you give them poetry, it can go either way.
Boom, though.
And
It's
so
really powerful.
I was like, what's it gonna be like performing in a space where they're not here for the poetry? How do I present it to them? That's what I love about being in poetry spaces, spoken word spaces, where the crowd is yelling back at you. This one time, I said one line in Spanish, and this older black woman yells, "Say it again!"
See?
And I was like, you don't know what I just said.
See?
But just the way I said it.
See?
The way I said it. And that's what she told me after the show. She was like, the way you said it, I needed to hear it again. And I was like, wow, that's, that's sort of what you want, is give me more of that.
That's magic, man.
Yeah,
That's going beyond words. Put your spirit out there.
This next one is a short one, and it's about Nicaragua, and I think that's sort of where we get more into democracy and things like that, where in Nicaragua, if I were able to do this publicly, it'd be over for me. If I were to wear my flag, it'd be over for me, because the flag goes against the government's flag. The flag goes against the party, and so that's why I wrote this piece, which is aimed at just what's really happening to the youth in Nicaragua, what will be happening to me, the college students, persecuted, killed, political prisoners going on right now, and how that would be me. If I were in college in Nicaragua, that would be me. If I were a young person in Nicaragua, that would be me. And me being outspoken, me being who I am, is there's no room for that. There's no room to stand up for what you believe in anymore. There's no room for hope. And so this piece is called River That Flows on Concrete Roads.
Ooh, the river that flows on concrete roads, the river that flows from my soul. It's a river that flows on concrete roads that we speak.
The children run up the stream of the river that flows on concrete roads, running as fast as they can, making sure their feet don't touch the water, because that water ain't clean. And they already know why, but they want to see it for themselves. The closer they get to the source of the river, the smell of the water fills up their noses, but they won't look away. Because at the source of the river may be the friend who left home with a slingshot in his pocket and a flag around his neck, ready to defend the land his father showed him how to love.
The river that flows on concrete roads. The river that flows through the soul. It's a river that flows on concrete roads and it makes us speak.
The children stand around the river that flows on concrete roads, thinking they will soon be rivers too.
The river that flows on concrete roads. The river that flows on these concrete roads.
Thank you. That was beautiful.
That was fun, huh?
Amazing. Yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah, that was great.
I'm feeling you.
That was a 5-minute run through earlier.
Yeah, man.
Not even with the instrument, so that's amazing.
I got you, man.
Okay, so just to wrap it up, to stay in the theme of Nicaragua again, this last one is a protest poem. I wrote it for the streets. So there is like a back and forth that I need you all to engage in, and that's what sort of creates the feeling that I want for things. What am I?
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 Am I the tears of the mother looking into the eyes of her son's dead body? What am I?
What am I?
Am I the blood spilling out the toddler's head onto his father's chest? What am I?
What am I?
Am I that last breath that 4-year-old girl took before drowning in the waters of Rio Grande? What am I?
What am I?
I'm the 4 years of pain and suffering that followed, the 40 years of lies and theft. I'm a nation with no future. I'm a nation with no hope. I'm a nation with no unity. I am Nicaragua, a land of brothers killing brothers with rivers of blood flowing through every street. My clouds are made of the smoke that came from the barrel of the gun that shot down every bit of freedom left in me. I am Nicaragua. But who are you? And what have you done to help me? Thank you. We are going to take another intermission, and we're going to finish out the show with Lionel's set. So thank you for being at this concert.
Give it up for Camilo Montoya, you guys. Come on.
I really mean it. Like, me wearing like the Nicaraguan flag is a threat to the government in Nicaragua, because it's a sign of resilience. Like, just your flag becomes a sign of resilience to your own people. It's such a weird thing that I don't understand, you know?
Oppression, man. Oppression will use any tool to keep the people down, you know, especially one that means so much to them, you know, and that we can put so much meaning into just fabric and color, like that could actually mean something to those downtrodden. I mean, that shows you that the power of the, let's say, the man or the oppressor is seriously threatened by art and beauty.
Yeah. Yes.
Yes, it is.
That's one thing
It
I've
absolutely
learned.
is.
Yeah, right.
A lot of the most culturally impacting Nicaraguan artists have been forced to flee the country and live somewhere else and be shut down. And it's like, why are you shutting down the artists? You know? Because they have an effect that a speech doesn't
Why
have.
would anybody put anybody else down unless they were afraid of them?
Yeah.
Males, females, you know, the leaders of the country versus the artists and musicians.
There's a writing from slavery by this guy named Willie Lynch, and it talks about the tools to separation, you know, and how they are self-replicating, you know, and the only way to combat them is to create a better story than the tools create for, you know, frameworks for holding people down. It's really important that we through dialogue create a better story, you know, a real story. You know?
Right, not the whitewashed
Yeah, you know.
story, not the one that makes us look good.
The authentic story.
Right.
You know, really taking into account the pain that caused it and the joy that can come from that pain if we come together. You know, at least that's what I believe.
And I think by being unapologetic and real about things, that's when you also get to work through some people's guilt. Like a lot of times, guilt of how somebody may feel because of what, like a system. Like what I was saying is, like, I didn't choose to be born in Nicaragua. I didn't choose to be born in a place where so many people can sit me down and be like, oh, when you weren't even born and this was going on and I was in college and I was studying this. Like for me, it's not like, okay, I love having honest conversations, because then if you're feeling like, oh, you know, like let's say the history of Nicaragua, like being born in a family that in the U.S. that supported the things that were going on in Nicaragua from the outside, like you feel this guilt. It's like, oh, am I the reason you're here now? Am I the reason you're struggling now? But when you talk about it, that's when you get to really open up. Like that's one of the things that I wish, like, Latin Americans and like Spanish people in Spain could openly talk about, because it's like that guilt and that anger is like, I am what your ancestors did like terribly to us, and here we are. Can we love each other? Can we, you know, acknowledge it? And I don't know, it's conversations that like are so uncomfortable to have sometimes, but it's you gotta create the spaces for it, and you gotta encourage people. People gotta take sort of like that leap of faith. Like me performing here tonight I was not gonna, and I could have just been like, no guys, like stuck to my guns, like I'm filming. You don't understand, like how could I be in the shot and setting up the shot? There's no way. But I was like, oh, I'll do it.
Although that's, I mean, the intention from the beginning when we just talked about it was, yeah, we'll just get up here and I'll do some songs, you do your thing. Okay, we'll put it on Facebook Live.
Yeah.
That'll be good. Why not?
And then
Because
the power of the idea.
butterflies' wings.
Right?
And then,
It's powerful, man.
Yes.
It's powerful. It's good. Hopefully it'll create this kind of conversation to those who feel it too, you know. Whatever piece of it that appeals to them might make their neighbor have this kind of conversation, and you never know where it goes, you know.
yeah.
It's going to be a lot to fix the problems of colonialism, you know. Colonialism affected the entire world, you know, not just us, the you know, but the sons and daughters of those who had to deal with it, like your fam, you know, like. And I think in a lot of ways we change all that magic from this point back and forward when we come together and uncomfortably state the truths about where we are today, you know, and where we hope to be tomorrow. You know? I think that's new colonialism. That's lands that don't have to be taken by force, but can be taken by the voice, by the vibration. You know?
Yeah, I mean, just imagine what we could, what we could do.
What we are doing. You know?
Yeah, right. It can it's all here right now.
This is the third set of this evening's Concert for Democracy. You guys have all been really, really patient with us as we try this new idea of expressing ourselves in bits and pieces and conversation. I've been really encouraged to walk through the pews and see you guys actually all turned around and having your own conversations. That's the whole point, right? We want to create positive conversations and positive points of view to make positive change, you know. And even if the change is a bit negative, it may seem a little difficult. I think that we've all lived enough moons to know that the next sun will rise and there will be a chance to add some good love juice on top of it. So as I said before, where I hold here in the Concert for Democracy is love, right? And the first part of any kind of new thought is believing that anything is possible. So this song is called Anything Is. And I would really appreciate it if you guys would just go like this. That sounds good. cosmic pioneer on the Sony line. And I could be your first AD, wondering why everybody's screaming, losing their head. Don't they understand we can be anyone we want? We can be everything to anyone. Yeah, now I know that anything is possible. Yeah, now I know that anything is possible. Now listen here, you could be a Kennedy, a real-life engineer of society, and I could be your chief of staff, wondering why everybody's screaming, losing their head. Don't they understand we can be anyone we want? We can be anything to anyone. Yeah, now I know that anything is possible. In fact, it's nearly probable. Yeah, now I know that anything is possible. Is possible. Anything is possible. Anything is possible. Awesome. Now I'm going to play an instrument I know how to play better. Better roll up your sleeves. We got some work to do here. The train is moving, come on aboard. See, I waited too long to linger, and I lingered too long to wait. Yes, I did. Better live life right before I sober. No disrespect, just observation. I'm about due for some luck with my calculations. Oh, mercy, mercy me, I think I see salvation. Then suddenly I gets the technicolor revelation. Where's my silver lining and my pot of gold? I just need something to believe in. Where's my four-leaf clover and my brand new clothes? I just need something to believe in. Well, well, well. What do you believe? We better pick up the pace. We might get left behind. Yeah. Oh, the train is moving. I heard get off your knees. God likes a vigorous prayer. You might catch him sleeping anytime, anywhere. You waited too long to linger, and you lingered too long to wait. Yeah, time to live life right before you're sober. Where's my silver lining and my brand new clothes? I just need something to believe in. Where's my four-leaf clover and my pot of gold. I just need something to believe in. Well, 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 where's my four-leaf clover and my pot of gold? I just need something to believe in. Where's my silver lining and my brand new clothes? I just need something to believe in. Well, well, well. Oh, no disrespect, just observation, yeah. I'm about due for some luck, but my calculations. Oh, mercy, mercy me, I think I see salvation. Then suddenly I get the technical revelation. Well, well, where's my silver lining? Where's my pot of gold? Just need something to believe in. Where's my four-leaf clover and my brand new clothes? I just need something. I need something, baby. I just need to believe. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah?
I was teaching documentary to Black and Latino children from Silver Spring this summer, and we had this activity that was, who are your ancestors, and who do you want to be an ancestor to? And that was a conversation that, like, it messed them up. They're like, what do you mean, dude? I'm 15. Like, I don't know who my ancestors. I'm like, you do know, like, who came before you? Could be a parent. Like, it doesn't have to be, like, your ancestors, but who, how do you want to make it better? Sort of like what I'm asking here.
Well, you know, there's this question, hey, Daddy, what did you do in the war? And I've thought about that a lot in terms of this Concert for Democracy. Hey, when you knew that fascism was more on the rise, when authoritarianism and democracy was struggling and people's rights were at issue, what did you do? And, you know, some people can run for office and other, but what I feel I can do is just express what I know helps, and music is a path to that. And if you can say some things you want to say with music as part of your guide, I'd be happy with that legacy. You know, just you put some stuff out there. My granddaughter might say, yeah, you know, Bampa, he made a difference. You know, people they thought he was a little crazy, but people did really listen to what he said sometimes. You know, it helped me. There's one thing he taught me that I learned. I remember that. You know, that'd be good.
Yeah.
What about you?
What about me?
Yeah.
I definitely would say a lot of times just the power that you can have. I've learned that, like the power that the way you carry yourself can have on people like you, like your community, let's say. That's something that because that was not taught to me. It was not taught to me, like, as an immigrant, like, you know, carry yourself in a way that makes others respect you, in terms of, like, you don't have to earn their respect. You simply are. That was something that, like, not feeling like I have to, you know, go around saying, oh, please be nice to me, please welcome me. No, it's saying, here I am, I belong here, and I want to embody that, because I don't want it to be like a thing that I'm, like, trying to figure out by the time I, like, have kids, or like my nieces and nephews get older. I want to be that, as, like, if I'm in a threatening space, let it not be threatening, because here I belong here. I'm safe here, right?
Yeah. This is your kingdom.
Yeah, exactly.
You are a king. You know,
it's funny because I mean I grew up with the legacy all around me, you know, and with people who changed the world straight up, you know.
Yeah.
Like just my uncle's the first black face on television, the first black face with a radio show, like so I had this thought to myself, like, where do I fit in this? You know, how is what I have to do going to be as important or whatever? And then I kind of, when I was a kid, I was like, well, it'll never be that, right? That's been done, right?
Right.
What can I do, right? I can show up being the most me, coming out just where you are, that I can. You know, I can come out supporting the most interesting forward-facing thoughts that I can, you know, and use that little bit of like social imagination about my family to point a finger in directions that, you know, because of the times they couldn't stand up and do, you know. Even though they changed the world, they were handcuffed, you know what I mean? There was only so much that could come out of that thing. But I don't have those handcuffs, you know. So every time I can redirect that social blessing, you know, in some place that's interesting, that causes thought, I feel like that's what I'm about. And that's what I try to represent for my kids and represent to people who are fans of the family, and just new thought, you know, something else. Because from that comes all things, I think, you know, just something else.
And that's what you did. That's exactly what you did tonight. You know, playing with me, playing with Camilo, doing those songs that you did. I mean, that was you, and we heard it and we felt it, and we felt the connection.
I appreciate
And
it.
it was important to me, and you know,
Thanks, man.
doing as best as we can, right?
That's all we can do. Like my dad said, doing the best we can, what we got.
Yeah, that other fella I was talking to you about the other night. Son, life is so good, and it just keeps getting better all the time.
And that's from a slave's perspective.
Yeah, an ex-slave's perspective.
That's real talk.
Yeah, it's perspective. You change your perspective every minute. We can all collectively change our perspectives
The lens.
so that we can all be.
So we figured out something. Anything's possible. We know we got to believe in something, right? But the problem is, there's problems, right? And problems get us turned around. Like, you know, you go to do a swirl on the organ and you turn the register off. That's a problem, but it's not really a problem unless you decide to let it stop you, you know? So this song it's the only hit I've ever had, and it was recorded by Mariah Carey in the early 2000s, and it's called Through the Rain. And the idea is that no matter what, no matter how it seems, you know, the rain's gonna stop. And you're gonna have a chance to regroup and find yourself. And in that regrouping, hopefully we not only find ourselves, but we find each other. And again, put our arms around each other and try to move forward through the door. So I hope you like it. When you get caught in the rain with nowhere to run, and you get lost and afraid without anyone, and you keep looking out to be saved, and nobody comes, and you are so all alone. You just can't find your way home. You can get there alone if you say you're okay. I can make it through the rain. I can stand up once again on my own. 'Cause I know that I'm strong enough to mend. And every time I feel afraid, I hold tighter to my faith. And I live one more day, and I make it through the rain. And if you keep falling down, don't you dare give in. You will arrive safe and sound. So keep pressing on steadfastly, and you'll find what you need to prevail. If you say you can make it through the rain, you can stand up once again on your own. 'Cause I know you're strong enough to mend. And every time you feel afraid, hold tighter to your faith, and you'll live one more day. Yeah, you'll make it through the rain. And when the wind blows and shadows pull close, don't be afraid. There's nothing that you can't bear. And if they tell you you'll never pull through, don't hesitate. Stand tall and say, stand tall. You can make it through the rain. You can stand up once again on your own. If you know that you're strong enough to mend. And every time you feel afraid, hold tighter to your faith, and you live one more day. Yeah. You can make it. I know you can make it. Woo-hoo, I know you can make it. I'm gonna say it again. I said, I know you can make it. I know you can make it if you try, baby. You can make it through the rain. I know we can. We can make it through the rain. I got a little teary. You guys like that? Me too. That was really fun. Lean on Me, right? Y'all know this song. I'm going to sing along. You sing along with me if you want. And just think about it. Again, if we put all our arms around each other and walk through the door, they really can't stop us. And I don't think any of us are ready to be stopped anyway. I actually think there's more power in us than we've ever imagined. And all we have to do is just I'm telling y'all some time in our lives. We all have pain, we all have sorrow. But if we all rise, we know that there's always tomorrow. Lean on me when you're not strong, yeah, and I'll be your friend. I'll help you carry on, oh, for it won't be long till you're gonna need somebody to lean on. So you call on me, brother, when you need a hand. We all need somebody to lean on. Well, I might have a problem, you'll understand. We all need somebody to lean on. Please swallow your pride. If there's something you need to borrow, 'cause I'm right up the road, and I can take what you must let go. You just call on me, brother, when you need a friend. Yeah, we all need somebody to lean on. Well, I might have a problem, you'll understand. We all need somebody to lean on. Yeah. I love that. Yeah. Woo-hoo. Now's the time. You just call on me, brother, when you need a hand. We all need somebody to lean on. Well, I might have a problem that you'll understand. We all need somebody to lean on. Just call me when you need a friend. Oh, baby, just call me when you need. That's right, baby, just call me when you need it. Or when you need someone just to lean on. Baby, just lean on me. Yeah, baby, just lean on me. Yeah, baby, just lean on me. Thank y'all. Thank y'all.